So during 𝘖𝙪mass back in December, you guys watched me build this enclosure and review it, just give it my first impressions. Now we're gonna put it together finally for Kuzco, my blue-tongued skink, who you can see basking right there. So obviously he's loving it. But let's show you how I put it all together. And real quick, I just want to give another thank you to Phailozoo for sending over this enclosure for us to test out and review. I've got more exciting news at the end of the video as far as Phailozoo projects go, but in the meantime, if you'd like to check them out, and hello, can I help you? If you'd like to check them out, you can use my code ZOE10 to save 10% on your order. If you do that, I do get a little kickback, which helps continue to fund the basement project as well as my reptile education business. So that is very much appreciated if you do that. So let's get into the video. So here is our empty 4x2x2 that we're working with. For our background, we are using these cork tiles. They are my favorite thing to do for backgrounds now because they're so quick and easy. I have 3 18x24-inch tiles. I do have to cut one to make them fit, but other than that, they just like fit in perfectly. So all you have to do is just silicone it in and call it a day. So this has become my favorite way to do backgrounds. Now because that was so quick and easy, I was able to move on to decorating fairly quickly. So once the silicone cured, we were good to go, it didn't stink anymore, it was time to set it up. So for our substrate, we are using organic topsoil. You can just find this right at Home Depot. For a 4x2x2, I usually use one whole bag because I also mixed in other substrates. This one got a bag plus a little bit from another project that I had left over. And then I mixed in the remainder of this jungle mix that I have on hand, just to give it another item in the substrate. Later I'll add in moss that I forgot I had, but like I said, I forgot I had it, so we just kept moving along. Now it's going to be empty at first because I only have a couple things to decorate with, but I will get more, and by the end of the video he will have a full enclosure with lots of climbing and hiding. But there's the moss, so we had to go back and add that in. So we ended up just embracing the bare minimum kind of empty setup for a bit because I just wanted to be able to move him in because he was temporarily living in my living room and I really wanted him at the living room. So I hooked up some lighting and went ahead and moved him in so he could start getting used to his new home. And then I figured, you know, we would just keep adding to it as time went on. Alright, a little dark because I don't have the ring light set up, but this past weekend I went to lots of craft stores. Ooh, now it's getting really bright. Oh, there's Kuzco in the back corner. So this past weekend I went to some craft stores, got more big plants. I got this one that I added in. I also went to a reptile expo and finally got some leaf litter so we can add that in. So we're gonna do that right now. It's very bright because the colors are off so I didn't bring my ring light over. So we're just rolling with it. Okay, so his enclosure still feels empty to me. I didn't know what to do. I wanted more cork rounds, but I couldn't find any good ones at the expo. But then I remembered I have this ginormous hide. So I was like, I really just need big hides. But the big hides are so expensive. But like, I literally have this one. And it's an 𝘿𝙪𝙨, my rainbow boas enclosure. Since I redid that enclosure years ago. We're talking 3 or 4 years ago. And not once have I ever seen her use this. And it matches his setup so well. And he would actually use this hide where 𝘿𝙪𝙨 just likes to bury herself or like hide up high on her moss ball. So I'm gonna give this to Kuzco and then I think his setup will be done. And this will also double as a basking platform because it's taller and I think that will heat up really nicely. So I'm excited to put this in. So let's do it and see how it looks. So when it comes to installing your lighting, I just used this little brace in here to loop and hold my heat and put that out the cord holder. And then for my UVB, I just hooked floral wire around it. This stuff is great when you're trying to attach things to a screen. So I use that to attach the UVB because I will be stacking another enclosure on top of this. It will be another Phailozoo using their stackers. so we can test out how the stacking part of Phailozoo works out, which meant that I couldn't put the lights on top. I could if I got the 10-inch stackers, but they're out of stock, and obviously I'm on a time crunch. So I got the 1-inch stackers, which means the lights have to be installed inside, which is okay because it's a pretty tall enclosure. But the one on top will go to 𝘿𝙪𝙨, my rainbow boa. We'll be finally getting her out of this really crappy build of an enclosure that I got a long time ago and getting her into a nice big 4x2x2 Phailozoo. Still green, we gotta keep it matching, and I just love the green. That is what Cusco's enclosure looks like. If you want to see what they look like stacked and how the stacking works, be sure to watch for Calypso's video where I set up the second one stacked on top of here. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. As always, thank you for watching. And a big thank you to Phailozoo for sending this enclosure for Cusco for us to test out and review. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!